guys, and welcome to Paige Mackenzie Reads The Haunting of Sunshine Girl by Paige Mackenzie. Woo! I know, I'm a dork, it's fine. So we are on chapter 6. It's already dark when I walk home from school. Not that it was ever light to begin with. And the houses closest to school glow and twinkle beneath a layer of Halloween decorations. But the closer I get to our house, the fewer the decorations. I guess there's no need for inflatable ghosts and iridescent skeletons when it's already so creepy here. Anyway, I don't think there are any kids around or to trick-or-treat. I consider hanging a black cat on our front door, but it seemed kind of pointless. Our driveway is so long and surrounded by hedges that no one but Mom and me would even see it, and I don't exactly need a reminder that Halloween is less than a week away. Besides, Mom is so busy that she probably wouldn't even notice. Lex and Oscar greet me when I open the door. I make sure there's water in their bowls and tell them it's nearly supper time before trudging up the stairs to my room. I brace myself before opening the door, wondering what kind of disaster awaits me on the other side. But today, at least, my room is the same condition as it was when I left in the morning. Well, almost the same condition. As I step inside and slip off my backpack, I see that someone retrieved my checkerboard from the closet and set it up in the center of the bed. Black checkers arranged neatly on one side, red on the other. For some reason, seeing just the one game set up neatly on the bed is even creepier than when I opened the door to find every single toy I owned strewn across the room. This is so much more specific. I take a deep breath, the cold air chilling my lungs. This is someone asking me to play with her. I've decided the ghost must be a 10-year-old girl. I mean, not in real years. For all I know, it's been 100 years since she died, so maybe technically she's 110 years old. But I think she must have been around 10 when she died. She seems to want to play board games most of all. They're on top of the piles of scattered toys in the room. And I feel like that's the kind of thing you get into around 5th grade, right? All I have to do is take a few steps across the room, reach out my arm and move a single checker, and the game will begin, right? But then what? What would an invisible hand move a piece on the other side? Before I can do anything, I hear the sound of the front door opening and closing, of Oscar barking with excitement. I turn and run from my room, the checkerboard almost forgotten on the bed. Because honestly, Mom coming home at a reasonable hour might actually be even more miraculous than a ghost trying to play with me. "Will wonders never cease?" I shout, running into the kitchen and throwing my arms around her. "Taking the night off," Mom says, grinning. "It's been too long since we've had a proper girls' night." She heaves a bag of groceries onto the kitchen counter. "And you were cooking?" Since we moved to Ridgemont, it's been a lot of takeout and microwave dinners. "Roast chicken," she says with a smile. "Ladies and gentlemen, meet Catherine Griffith," I shout in a game show host kind of voice. "She's a mother, she's a nurse, she's a 5-star chef." Mom curtsies. "I'm a woman of many talents, Sunshine. What can I say?" I rushed through my homework, feeling grateful that the Ridgemont school system is about 6 months behind the Austin school system, so I can breeze through at least half of my assignments and be done in time to set the table and mash the potatoes. After dinner, we pile the dishes in the sink. "Let's clean up in the morning," Mom says, and curl up on the couch together, arguing over which of us is hogging the blanket. We're watching the Tonight Show when it happens. At first, it doesn't seem like much. The lights flicker, the TV turns off and on. "That was weird," Mom says, and I shrug, trying to ignore the fact that I'm suddenly freezing, despite the fact that I won our earlier blanket battle. I slide across the couch and rest my head against her chest like I'm 10 years old myself, and silently beg my little friend not to play any of her games tonight. "Please," I plead. "Please just let me have this one night with my mom." But when the lights flicker again, and this time they don't turn back on. "Please," I plead again. "I promise to play checkers or Monopoly or go fish or whatever you want tomorrow." "A storm must have taken the power lines down," Mom says, sitting up. "What storm?" I say. "It's raining, but there's no thunder or lightning. There's not even any wind tonight." "Not again, Sunshine," she groans, the littlest bit of a smile playing at the edges of her lips. I fold my arms across my chest with a huff. "Not again what?" "I know you're dying to blame this on your ghosts, but you know as well as I do that blackouts happen all the time." "Not ghosts," I mumble into darkness. "Ghost, one ghost. I told you, I think it's a little girl." "I know, a laughing little girl about 10 years old." "It's not just laughing, Mom, I swear. She wants to play with me." "Sweetie, I know you're lonely, but believe me, you're going to make friends at your new school soon, and the idea of this ghostly playmate will disappear." I look at her seriously. She's a ghost, not my imaginary friend. "I don't want to argue with you, sweetheart. Let's find some candles." Mom reaches for my hand in the dark, and together we walk toward the kitchen. The blanket slides to the floor, and I shiver. "Ow!" I shout suddenly as I bang my shin. You okay? Coffee table. You sure it wasn't your ghost? Very funny. We take another step. Moonlight streams in through the kitchen windows so that the countertops and floor seem to glow. Oscar and Lex are curled up on the floor, fast asleep. At least the blackout isn't bothering them, Mom says. She pulls candles and a book of matches from the junk drawer in the kitchen and sets about lighting them, but no matter how many times she tries, the matches won't light. The heck? Let me try, I offer, reaching for the matches. But once they're in my hands, I know it's hopeless, because they're wet. Must be a leak or something, Mom says, shrugging. She takes the matches from my hands and goes back to her fruitful attempts to light them. As if on cue, a drop of water splashes onto my nose. Where did that come from? I ask, looking up. We're on the first floor. Even if the roof is leaking, we shouldn't be able to feel it down here. I pull my phone from my pocket and shine its flashlight on the ceiling. Mom, I ask, did you leave the water on upstairs or something? Mom looks up and gasps. The ceiling above us is soaking wet, drops of water beating across the cream-colored paint and falling to the floor. Did you take a shower when you got home from school? We're directly below the bathroom. Maybe you left the water running. I shake my head. I haven't even been on the second floor since she got home. Didn't want to see the checkerboard waiting for me. Then I hear it, a sound coming from above. Mom? I whisper urgently, but she's frozen in place. Mom, I repeat, but she shakes her head, her hair brushing my face as her head moves back and forth. Do you hear that? She whispers, and I nod. It's the most terrible sound I've ever heard. Not laughter, not night-night. Not the sound of my things being arranged in the room above us. Not even the sound of the water running. Instead, it's the sound of crying. But it's like no crying I've ever heard before. She's not crying, I realize with a start. She's begging, and suddenly she screams. Mom turns from the kitchen and makes a dash for the stairs. There's a little girl up there, she shouts, and I follow. We have to help her. Mom opens the door to my room first. Because of the tree blocking my window, only the smallest sliver of light streams in from the window. The moon outside. Actually, wait, not the moon. I walk to the window and peer out through the branches. Our neighbor's lights are on. Mom? I say softly. I don't think it's a blackout. But she just turns around and runs into her own room. Where is she? Mom sounds desperate. She's not in here either of our rooms. The crying is louder and louder still. Please! 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 As the cries get louder, it becomes clear. The sounds are coming from the bathroom. Mom and I crouch down onto the floor and crawl to the bathroom door. Mom reaches for the knob and starts to turn it. I brace myself for what we're going to see on the other side. Maybe it won't be that bad. Maybe it will be like Alice in Wonderland. Maybe the ghost is crying so hard that she's drowning in her own tears, flooding the floor beneath her. Can ghosts even cry? It's locked. Mom drops her hand. What? I reach up and try the knob myself. The metal is cold and slick with condensation. How can it be locked? Whoever's inside must have locked it, Mom says, pulling herself up to a stand. She presses her body against the door like she thinks she can knock it down. I shake my head. But that lock is broken, remember? You're going to call the landlord and ask him to fix it. I shine the light from my phone on her face. Her skin is about 3 shades paler than usual, practically blue. A sound makes me drop the phone, plunging us into darkness. Splashing. But not the sound of a little kid splashing around in the bathtub having fun. On the other side of the bathroom door, someone is trying to keep her head above water. Trying and failing. Splash, splash, splash. Mom tries the doorknob again, pressing her weight against the door. Help me, Sunshine, she shouts. So I grab my phone, get up, and stand beside her, pressing against the door with all my strength. Something presses back, and we both jump away. Splash, splash, splash. And in between the sound of someone coughing, sputtering, gasping for air, a child's voice saying, please. I close my eyes. I don't want to imagine what's happening on the other side of the door. To the little girl who just wanted to play. Maybe if I just played with her. I jump when something cold touches my socked feet. I shine my phone's flashlight on the carpet. Something is seeping out from under the door. I crouch down to look more closely. I don't think it's just water. Whatever it is, it's a reddish sort of brown, darker than the tan of the carpet. I take a deep breath. I hope it's not blood. I'm not so good with blood. Mom, I say as I back away from the door. What is that? Mom doesn't answer. Instead, she pounds her fists against the door, making me jump all over again. Whoever you are, don't you dare hurt that little girl, she shouts. You said there was no little girl. My mom ignores me. Don't hurt her, she shouts again, louder this time. Do not hurt her. Splash, splash, splash. Please. I start shouting too. Don't hurt her, I echo. Don't hurt that little girl. I put up my fists and pound against the door with all my might, and in between the pounding of our fists, I listen for the sound of splashes. As long as she's splashing, she hasn't lost. As long as she's splashing, she still has enough life in her to put up a fight. Please don't do this again, I hear her beg. her voice thick with effort. Again? What does she mean again? How many times has this happened before? Splash, splash, splash. More brown water rushes out from under the bathroom door, soaking the carpet, drenching the bottom of my jeans. I pound even harder, and Mom does too. Between the two of us, we'll knock the door down before we give up. All at once, the sound of splashing stops. The bathroom is suddenly horribly silent. Mom and I look at each other in the darkness. Just as suddenly, the lights come back on. The door swings open. I was in mid-punch, so I fall face first into the bathroom, knocking my nose against the tile, face down in a puddle of murky water. I start shaking uncontrollably. It's just rust, Sunshine, Mom explains breathlessly. She knows I'm kind of a phobic about blood. Rust? I echo. From the pipes, she says, gesturing to the tub. I nod, struggling to get my bearings and looking up at the room around me. It doesn't make sense. The water from these pipes has never been rusty before. Maybe this water is different, older, rotten. I inhale. The smell of mildew is so strong I can taste it. The bathroom is a disaster area. Though the faucet isn't running, the tub is overflowing with water, like it's been filled from below. The tiles around the tub are all scratched up, as though someone was gripping both sides, hanging on for dear life. I pull myself up to stand. It's so cold in here that I'm surprised there's any water at all. You'd think it would be frozen solid. My heart is pounding so fast, and I can barely breathe. No one else is in here. It's just Mom and me, no little girl, no evil man staying over her, forcing her to beg for her life. But why would a ghost have to beg for her life anyway? Mom reaches into the tub and releases the stopper. Water begins to disappear down the drain. The mirror above the sink is broken, cracked right down the center, and it's all fogged up so that it takes me a second to see my own reflection. I'm soaked and shivering. My white t-shirt is stained brown with rust. Mom? I say, turning around to face her. She just shakes her head. Unlike me, she's covered in sweat, hot from the effort of pounding on the door. Mom, I say again, but she still doesn't answer. Instead, she backs into the hallway, her soaked shoes leaving footprints on the carpet. What the heck happened in here? She asks finally. She looks at me like she thinks I have the answer. Like maybe all my obsessing over ghosts for the past few weeks has given me some insight, some knowledge into what's going on in this house. I can't believe I've ever complained over a few gusts of wind and a messy floor. What was all of that? Just a warm-up for what happened tonight? The grand finale? Sunshine? Mom prompts. Was that your ghost? End of chapter 6.